at the building site, they're asking for recycling containers to be provided for the collection of all cans, glass, and plastic bottles that might be discarded, and they ask that the items then be recycled properly. We have no comments from Neighborhood Services. They said they do not have any concerns with the project. The fire department has noted that they have no concerns related to the project. The police department has noted that the applicant is in the process of obtaining a conditional use permit to allow the sales, service, and on-site consumption. Faux Hut Restaurant is located in Census Tract 3020.02, which allows for 3 on-sale establishments. There are currently 24 on-sale establishments. Faux Hut is one of those 24. Based on Part 1 crime statistics for Census Tract 3020.02, in 2008, there were 192 crimes, and that is 106% above the citywide average of 93. And there is also another note in there that just says that there needs to be a correction on the address because the ABC license has the address at a different unit. And then we also have additional comments from police too that note that although they have a census tract that's over concentration and a census tract that's over crime, they do not have any concerns with this proposal and this restaurant in particular. We've also received a notice from the redevelopment agency. It says on January 19th, 2010, the agency approved a 7-space parking exception for Faux Hut for the property located at 312 North Brand Boulevard. And they've noted that the parking exception is limited to their restaurant use. And that's all the comments I've received from other departments. I'd like to ask the case planner then to provide an overview of the project.
Let me turn on my mic. Good morning. The applicant is requesting approval of a conditional use permit to allow the sales, service, and on-site consumption of alcoholic beverages at Faux Hut Restaurant. This is an existing restaurant that recently expanded at 312 and 312 and a half North Brand Boulevard. The site is developed with a commercial building located on the east side of North Brand Boulevard between California Avenue and Lexington Drive. Staff believes that the findings can be made to support approval of the conditional use permit. The sales, service, and consumption of alcoholic beverages at the expanded restaurant will be consistent with the elements and objectives of the general plan. The land use designation of the site is DSP, Downtown Specific Plan. One of the purposes of this designation is to encourage the location of a wide range of activities to maintain a dynamic environment. The main use of the site is the newly expanded restaurant. This type of use facilitates an exciting, lively area. Serving alcoholic beverages in conjunction with food service is common for restaurants. The proposed on-site consumption of alcoholic beverages at the expanded restaurant will not be detrimental to the safety and public welfare of the neighborhood in general. The existing restaurant prior to its expansion served alcoholic beverages, and the service of alcohol had not posed problems since the opening of this restaurant. There aren't any open code violations related to alcohol or the operation of this restaurant. The expanded restaurant is located in Census Tract 3020.02, which allows for 3 on-sale establishments. There are currently 24 on-sale establishments in this tract, and while there are significantly more on-sale establishments in this area than would otherwise be allowed, the restaurant is already one of those 24. The project site is located in downtown Glendale, where a concentration of restaurants is encouraged. Based on Part 1 crime statistics for the census tract, there are 192 crimes, or there were 192 crimes, which is 106% above the citywide average of 93. While this area has more crime than many other areas of the city, It has a high concentration of office workers and entertainment uses, which may partially explain the higher crime rates. And this area is different from most areas of the city, which contain lower density residential and retail areas. Further, neither the police department nor neighborhood services cited concerns related to this conditional use permit, and particularly the number of establishments serving alcohol or the crime rate. The proposed on-site consumption of alcoholic beverages at the expanded restaurant will not adversely affect or conflict with adjacent uses or impede the normal development of the surrounding property. As I mentioned previously, the site is located on North Brand Boulevard, which is densely developed commercial area. The consumption of alcoholic beverages at the expanded restaurant does not conflict with adjacent uses and surrounding land uses, and in fact, this type of use is encouraged in this area. Further, the project will not impede the normal development along the street since North Brand Boulevard is already fully developed, and should not impede any redevelopment of the street either, given that the proposed conditional use permit is only a request for alcohol sales. There aren't any churches, schools, libraries, hospitals, or daycare facilities known to exist within the vicinity of the subject site. The Chess Park is located on the west side of North Brand Boulevard near the project site. Given the commercial nature of the area and the number of existing restaurants in the area, and the fact that the conditional use permit only requests to allow alcohol service at the expanded restaurant, the proposed project shouldn't adversely impact this park. Similarly, the fairly dense multifamily residential uses located east of the project site along the east side of Maryland Avenue shouldn't be impacted as a result of the project, given their distance to the site, as well as the dense commercial nature of Brand Boulevard. The applicant's request to serve alcoholic beverages at the expanded restaurant does not result in inadequate public facilities or private facilities. The restaurant has expanded into the adjacent tenant space. That shouldn't result in any increase in utility use. The previous use was, I believe, a yogurt shop. This expansion requires the provisions of additional parking, which could not be provided on the site. As a result, the redevelopment agency in January of this year approved a 7-space parking exception for the restaurant expansion, and found that the reduced parking would be adequate given the nearby location of the Orange Street garage. Traffic circulation measures are not anticipated to be impact as a result of the alcohol service at the expanded restaurant. Staff recommends approval of the conditional use permit with the draft conditions contained in the staff report. Thank you.
Thank you. And I'd like to call forward the applicant. We only have one speaker's request form that I've received on this item, so if anybody else would like to speak on it, please submit a request form. With that, I'll call forward Kelly Truong. Hi, would you tell us about your project, and then also please make the findings?
Good morning, everyone. We've, as an existing Vietnamese pho restaurant, pho is, I guess, the correct saying, have the opportunity to expand to the adjacent unit. Previously, I guess we are at 312 and a half was our existing unit. So with this project, we have expanded. We need to request for the additional alcohol beverage permit in order to expand to the next unit. Currently, we're not serving on either side, and until this process has approved. So with all the findings, we have submitted all the requested information, and going through the findings, we have, first off, I guess I'll go through the list just to make sure. The first one is, this is part of the general plan that we're adding to the adjacent unit. Part of the expansion, we have to request this permit, conditional use permit, in order to serve alcohol. And with that, the next, I'm not sure which part I'm reading. I'm sorry. We currently, the next point is currently we're not. It is not during the first 2 year in operation. The consumption percentage of our restaurant is a very small percentage in comparison to the food consumption of the restaurant. So with that in mind, we don't think that with the request to expand to the next door and with the additional use permit requesting is not detrimental to the area of consumption, and that we think it's going to be an enhancement to the area, in fact, for the visitor and residents in the area. Currently, as I mentioned, our regular customer has been asking, when can you serve alcohol again? So we're kind of hoping that this process will be approved.
Okay, so you're maintaining a full-service restaurant. It's not turning into a bar?
No, it's not. No, they come in only because we have served certain items that they like to come in to eat with, consume alcohol at the same time. But there's only a very small percentage of customers that are requesting that. And we're not serving as a bar at all. No.
Okay.
It's just that I guess the regular customer had known us to have the permit, and now we don't. So they just inquiring.
Okay.
So with the I'm sorry, I'm kind of skipping around. I'm going down to the third one, which is the facility is not consistent with the surrounding property. The business is not adversely affect the adjacent uses, or is actually consistent with the existing uses of all the restaurants in the area.
Okay.
And we are, currently in the business. Mostly, all the restaurant is on our block of brand. So we're fortunate to be able to be in that area because it is where all the happenings are. So yeah, we're very glad we're in that area.
Okay.
So the next, and with regards to the private and facility use of utility and landscaping, the consumption, it's only permitted inside the restaurant. So we understand, and there's no utility impacts. There's no parking impact, as mentioned. Orange Street garage and the meters a lot behind our restaurant are sufficient for our customer, and a lot of our customers are actually pedestrian during working hours and or tourists in the area that visiting the area.
Okay.
So I guess with that in mind, if anyone has any question for me, I would love to answer, but I hope that my conditional use will be approved.
And then this is the exhibit I have. This is a true exhibit to what you're proposing?
Yes. We are in the process of working, getting permit for the sign redo.
Okay.
To connect the two unit together. But yes, that is the existing unit.
Okay. I have no other questions. Is there anything else you'd like to add?
I love it. If any of you have time to visit our restaurant, it's a very nice environment now with the expanded space and all, and the food is great.
Okay. All right. I don't have any other. Thank you.
Thank you.
I don't have any other cards. So I have to tell you, I believe that all the findings were made on this case. I heard findings 1 through 4 as required. I've also considered as required under Section F of Chapter 30.42 that 1 through F is about the census tract, the crime reporting districts. Existing or proposed use will not adversely impact any church, public school, or college or daycare, public park, library, hospital, or residential use. I believe there's adequate parking, as I've heard in the testimony, and that loading facilities are adequate to meet the proposed use, and also that the use does serve a public necessity or public purpose, and that there already is an alcohol sales at the project site, so clearly it's a successful restaurant. With that, I intend to approve this project with the conditions as contained in the staff report. So we'll move on to the next case. The next case is conditional use permit PCUP 2010-008 located at 2232 Honolulu Avenue. The applicant is Ki-Soon Ohm. I'm sorry if I destroyed your name. I didn't mean to. A Sushi Plus restaurant. And the case planner is Gevorg Nazarian. This is an application for a conditional use permit to allow the on-site sale, service, and consumption of beer and wine at an existing full-service restaurant located at 2232 Honolulu Avenue in the commercial retail zone described as lots 54, track number 1701.
Good morning. The applicant is requesting approval of a conditional use permit to allow the sales, service, and and on-site consumption of alcoholic beverages at the Sushi Plus restaurant, an existing restaurant located at 2232 Honolulu Avenue. The zoning administrator granted a conditional use permit on January 24th of 2007 to allow the sales, service, and consumption of beer and wine in conjunction with the full-service restaurant. This conditional use permit expired on January 24th of this year. Staff believes that the findings can be made to support the approval of the conditional use permit. The purpose of the commercial retail zone, which is the zone in which the restaurant is located, in part is to accommodate retail shopping and convenience services in the Montrose Shopping Park. A full-service restaurant such as Sushi Plus is a convenience service and is consistent with the elements and objectives of the general plan. The restaurant has existed within the shopping park and has not proven to be detrimental to the public health and safety, the general welfare, or the environment. The project will not adversely affect or conflict with adjacent uses or impede development of the surrounding properties. The existing utilities, including gas, electricity, water, and sewer, are already in place, and no changes are proposed as a result of the project. The project is not anticipated to increase the demand for parking. Again, staff believes that the findings can be made to support approving the conditional use permit and recommends approval with the draft conditions contained in the staff report. Thanks.
Okay. And as far as comments from other departments, I have nothing from Community Development and Housing. They've indicated they have no concerns related to the project. Neighborhood Services has no concerns related to the project. Fire Department has no concerns related to the project. Parks and Recreation, they have no concerns related to the project. Development Services indicates no concerns with the project. And for Police, they've indicated they have no concerns with the project. And then they do note that Sushi Plus is located in Census Tract 3006, which allows for 7 on-sale establishments. There are currently 33 on-sale establishments in this tract, and that includes Sushi Plus as one of those establishments. Based on Part 1 crime statistics for Census Tract 3006 in 2008, there were 160 crimes at 72% above the citywide average of 93. And they also note that within the last calendar year, there have been no calls for police service at this location. And again, Police Department had no concerns. So that I have one card submitted for Kevin Franklin, the applicant. So I'd like to ask him to come forward, please. And would you please make the findings?
Yes.
Thanks.
Well, good morning again. My name is Kevin Franklin. I'm the representative for Mr. Yoon, sitting there in the audience. I'm here today to request the renewal of a CUP that's been existing since 2007. In terms of the findings, yes, we believe we make all the findings, of course, because it's an existing use. The first finding, in terms of the various elements and objectives of the general plan, well, the restaurant is designated in a commercial retail zone which permits and encourages development of full-service dining establishment with the proposed use. On number 2 finding, the associated structures and facilities detrimental to the public health. Once again, it's located in the Montrose Shopping Center area, which is a well-known destination point for people to come and enjoy fine dining and food establishments. Finding number 3, will it adversely affect or conflict with adjacent uses? No. The Montrose Shopping Center has been there for more than 40 years, and surprisingly, there's no vacancies. So that lets you know that it's a popular area and well-kept and well-maintained, not only by the community, but by the merchants. And item number 4, explain the adequate public facilities and private facilities for utilities, landscaping. Again, it's in a beautifully landscaped area of Montrose Park. He pays into the, I think it's called the Business Improvement District,
Yes.
where associated tenants pay a certain fee to maintain the grounds, which are beautiful. And we believe those 4 findings have been made and are justified in approving this case.
Okay.
In terms of additional justification, again, even though it's in a high crime area as proposed by the Glendale City Police Department, the area where he is directly has had no criminal behavior, no crimes reported. In terms of overconcentration, again, he's an existing use and he's already counted in the census tract, so he won't add any undue concentration. In terms of parking, there's plenty of off-street parking for Montrose. As you're well aware, there's street meter parking, there's paid parking in the rear of the premises. That concludes. No questions from the applicant.
Okay.
That's it.
And thank you. I have no other cards. Does anybody else wish to speak? You wish to speak? No? Okay. With that, I have heard all the required findings in your presentation and also by the presentation from staff. Therefore, I will approve this conditional use permit and believe that it will conclude today's hearing. The hearing is now officially closed, and I'd like to say thank you for coming.